Ray Medel, nice to have you back at the Cornerman TV. Last time when we spoke more about coaching. So maybe this time we talk and focus more about your boxing career. Do you remember how old you were and why you actually started boxing?
Well, I remember I was probably 7 years old when I first got my first pair of gloves. There was a big box under the Christmas tree, and I was just wondering, what is it? So it was my dad that gave it to, and my mom too. They gave me it was my first pair of gloves, boxing gloves. They were some red Everlast, big old pillow gloves, and I guess I was probably like 7 years old when I first started. When I first put the gloves on, and after that Christmas present, I never let go of them, and I just continued with boxing. But I was 7. I was 7 years old when I first laced up the gloves, and when I was 9 was when I first went to my first boxing gym, because we lived in Wisconsin, Random Lake, Wisconsin. But then we moved to Racine, and that was my first boxing gym, and I had my first fight there. A couple of fights, but my first fight was there in Sheboygan, Illinois. It was Chicago, Illinois. And I just continued from there. I just, like I said, I never let go of the gloves. It was that year. It was my dad bought me the gloves, and then the following year, my mom surprised me with a speed bag. And then I put that speed bag up with some boards that we found, and just started hitting the speed bag, and I just continued from there.
Who was your favorite boxer during those times?
As an amateur, when I was in Wisconsin, I remember it's Sugar Ray Leonard. I remember watching him win the Olympic gold medal in 1976, and he was throwing a million punches, and he really impressed me. And as an amateur, it was Sugar Ray Leonard. Then you had when I came to San Antonio, I looked up to Felix Castillo, the spoiler. He was the USA team boxer, and so was another one from there in 79, 78, Joe Rodriguez, Senor. He also was a USA boxer, and they were about my weight, and they were good. And also the power Antonio Ayala, the Torito, was another one that is, because I was only like 11, 12 years old when I got to San Fernando, and I would watch them, and as an amateur, it was them, and but that's who it was, mainly like Sugar Ray Leonard when I was like real little. And then when I came to San Antonio, they were just they're real good boxers, and I looked up to them also. As a pro, I like Chavez. Chavez was my idol, and as a professional. But Sugar Ray Leonard also professional, both legends. So it was Sugar Ray Leonard and Felix Castillo, spoiler, Joe Rodriguez.
How old you were when you turned pro?
When I turned pro, I was 17. I was 17 years old. I wasn't old enough to just fight myself. I had to get permission from my parents, and they signed the dotted line. I was glad they signed the dotted line. I turned pro at 17. I was looking forward to fight in the Golden Gloves. I did fight in them 1 year, but then I was looking forward to fighting them again, but then I just decided to turn pro. So at 17, I turned pro.
Who was your coach?
My coach as an amateur was Cesar Cano, but then when I turned pro, it was Tony Ayala, and then my dad's been helping me ever since I was little, so my dad's always helped me out. So my main coach, you could say, was Tony Ayala. Cesar Cano is my amateur coach, and then of course my dad. My dad's always helped me out throughout my career, and so it was mainly Tony Ayala as my boxing coach. I had a few other guys help me out, like Hector Perez. He was a great coach. Also, I had Boral Davila. He was another good. Back in 78, 79, and Rocha. A few coaches. I just try to do where people nowadays it's like if if you have a main coach, but then there's other coaches giving you advice, I think they should take it, put more tools in your toolbox, or. But I mean, as long as you don't get confused, and me personally, I'll take advice from everybody and try to use it. I wouldn't say like, oh, they're doing it like this or they're doing it like that. I just use it all, and it benefited me. It was great. Emmanuel Stewart too, as a pro, I went with the Kronk team. We fought in Atlantic City, and he invited me. Then he saw me fight there, and he just, "You want to fight for the Kronk team?" I said, "Yeah, I'll go."
Yeah, Kronk team is a very legendary team. How was that experience?
That was great. You had nothing but world champions over there. Contenders, national champions. You had the Hitman Hernzel, Milton McCory. You had Milton McCory, and he was Steve McCory also. He had that gold medal. He was there also. John Johnson. He was the world champion. Yeah, Gabby Canizales was there. Jesse Benavides, a whole bunch of world champions. It was great. It was a great experience. Sparring was wars. There were wars. That's the only way you're gonna get good in boxing. There's no such thing as light sparring or nothing like that. But it was excellent. Emmanuel Stewart was an excellent person. He had, I don't know how many houses over there. We stayed in one of his houses, but it was great. We had training camps in Detroit, Michigan, Phoenix, Arizona, Nevada, different places, New Jersey. But it was a great experience with the Kronk team.
Your record as a pro boxer was 26. Which one of your fights are for you the most memorable ones?
Well, I think when I won my first title with Henry Brent, won the title there. I think I was probably like 19. And then I defended the title. That was one Henry Brent when I won it. And then when I defended the title, I defended that title at 112 pounds a couple of times. But I fought Paul Gonzalez, and he won the 1984 Olympic gold medal. Came to San Antonio to fight me for my title, but I beat him a decision. That was also another good fight for me, a memorable fight. Also, when I went for the world title, that one too was Fidel Basa. After that, when I won the 115 title, I had a fight of the year with Robert Quiroga in '89. It was fight of the year from USBA, and then also fought Luigi Capotero. He's now I think he's in the Hall of Fame also now, and it was a tough fight he was from Italy. He was 19-1. We fought in Denver. That was also a good fight. But I had a couple of good fights. Most of my fights were a lot of contenders. I also fought Gabriel Bernal. He was ex-world champion. I fought him 10 rounds, only in my sixth fight. We went the whole 10 rounds. I thought I beat him, but I didn't get the decision. But I had a few of them, and most of my fights were a lot of contenders, so there was quite a few fights, but those were the main ones when I defended the titles, and those were the main ones, were the title defenses when I won the title and against Paul Gonzalez and Quiroga and Basa. So those were mainly the memorable ones. Other than that, I was fighting contenders, and I was beating them. A few names from Indonesia, guys from Mexico, but those were the good fights that I remember in my career. I have 6 losses, and they've all been decisions, and the only one that I think that I actually really did lose was with Quiroga. But other than that, I thought I won all the other fights. But it's just the way it goes,
The Bassa fight is on YouTube. Have you watched it back from the YouTube?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it probably a million times. But that was a good fight. I mean, I had the guy hurt. I was backing up the guy and stuff. I mean, I honestly thought I won the fight. They took a point away from me, and I'm not sure what round it was. in between the rounds. I'm not even sure why they took a point away. The reason why I was thinking is because I was really, I was really getting him, and maybe I would have got that decision, and they needed that point or something. But that was a great fight. I didn't really fight the way I should have fought, but I still thought I won. I staggered the guy a lot of times and hurt him and had him cut, and actually dropped him one time, but they call it a slip. But that was, I mean, I feel in my heart that I won that fight. So it was a good experience. Tough fighter, he was tough, but it was an excellent fight. I mean, great experience.
Anything else that you would like to add?
Well, the only thing is, boxing has brought me a long way, and then boxing has brought me a long way. I mean, I'm over here in Finland now, the other side of the world from America, but it's brought me, as I've traveled for boxing. I've traveled. I've been in different. Known different people. It's brought me a long way. I was just told that by Lester Bedford that I was representing San Antonio, putting San Antonio on the map throughout my boxing career as a boxer, professional boxer, and then now as a coach, I'm coaching over here in Finland, and I was still putting San Antonio on the map by this guy from San Antonio. And he had just told me that he was going to put me in nomination for the San Antonio Hall of Fame. So I'm looking forward for that one. So, I need everybody's vote if they do that. But he says that I well deserve it because I'm still putting San Antonio on the map, San Antonio, Texas, and it's just an honor, to be able to, actually be in the San Antonio Hall of Fame. But only time will tell. And I just want to thank, for example, Yan for inviting me over here and having confidence in me, like I said before. And I want to thank him and just that's really about it. Just not much. Just thank him for inviting me over here and just having the confidence in me to be here.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that we're gonna catch up with you again in Cornerman TV later on.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, man, Cornerman TV. See you around. Cornerman TV. In the house. Time, guys.